Good Morning San Diego.
Later today, the San Diego City Council will decide if it will repeal an ordinance that regulates medical marijuana dispensaries. It is a very hot topic, and joining me this morning is Donna Lampert with the American Cannabis Foundation. Before, Donna, we get to you, I want to make it clear to our viewers that we did try to get the other side of the issue as well. We called two different agencies, including the City Council. They were unavailable to talk to us this morning. Having said that, Donna, I want to talk to you about, first of all, tell me your story. Why are you in favor of this?
My story is that in 2005, I was diagnosed with hepatitis C, and I went on chemotherapy for a year. During that time, I developed additional health problems, such as Sjogren's disease. I'm in pain a lot of times. I started growing marijuana for myself and other patients during that time, and seeing how beneficial it was, I continued doing that until I was arrested in the Operation Green RX sting operation, when I exposed the diversion of grant money targeting medical marijuana. And we're in a county that tried to overturn medical marijuana law, so it's been a long fight in San Diego to get just the rights that were allotted to us under Prop 215. In the fall of 2009, we lobbied the City Council, and they reenacted the Medical Marijuana Task Force, and they appointed a pastor, Reverend Wayne Riggs, as well as a zoning official and a couple of attorneys that diligently researched other cities' zoning laws, and they came up with recommendations to the City Council that were fair and reasonable.
All right, and you thought that was a great idea, but then what happened is the City Council went ahead and approved this stringent, very strict guidelines on medical marijuana dispensaries. Then a petition drive was held. The petition drive was successful, so now the city has to go back and either repeal this ordinance or face a very expensive election in the fall. Is that right?
That's right. And the power of the people to work within the political process is really fascinating, because at this time, medical marijuana patients have really banded together. They've realized that we need to work within the political system to get our rights. They've gathered these signatures, and the City Council really can go back and accept the Medical Marijuana Task Force recommendations, or they can waste more taxpayer money trying to undermine the law and prohibit the will of the voters from 15 years ago that asked for medical cannabis to be able to be distributed to patients.
What do you say to the people that says there is so much abuse going on, that kids, young adults, I should say, are abusing the system, and they're getting their marijuana, they're getting easy prescriptions, and they're abusing the system? What do you do with that?
What I say is that that is one of the main reasons for regulating this industry. That is why it is important for us to be able to work as a community with City Council, work with the police to end that kind of abuse that does exist. And the more that we're able to be in the mainstream, out of the shadows, into the light, we can get rid of that.
Does the task force recommendations address that? Is that fair, do you feel?
Oh, absolutely. They require the storefronts or the collectives to put their name on the jars. They regulate all that thing, and they can even regulate more. They can put more on top of that, but we need to start somewhere, and those task force recommendations were excellent.
So what do you feel, or what do you hope, I should say, the City Council do today then?
I would like them to vote to let go of the restrictive permitting process. I would like them to accept the City Council recommendations, or at least go back to the task force. Yeah, I'm sorry, the task force recommendations, or at least go back to the drawing board and accept public comment again, and examine the issue of the task force recommendations.
If not, if they stand tall on their restrictions, then it goes to a vote. Talk about how that will be played out in the fall.
So they can put it to the taxpayers to a vote. It'll cost anywhere from $1 to $4 million. The fact is that medical marijuana patients have a legal right under SB 420 to collectively associate with or without zoning. We have that right, and it's just darn time that San Diego County quits trying to undermine the law, whether it's through zoning or illegal raids.
All right, Donna Lampert, that meeting's what time today?
That meeting is from 2 to 5 today, and we really encourage all medical marijuana patients, regardless of your opinion, just come down there and give your input to your City Council.
All right, Donna, thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
Okay, thank
Donna
you.
Lampert, and we, of course, will have much more on this story tonight on the KUSI News at 6, whichever way the city determines the outcome.